Mr. Ben, and today I got a cool craft for you. We are going to make everyone's favorite snowman, Olaf, from Frozen. I got one example I've already put together without any of his body parts, and I'm going to show you this. This is step one, but first, let's go through everything we need. We are going to need a couple little cotton balls, hot glue for our hot glue gun. We are going to make it out of a bobby sock or a cuff sock. You can buy these at Walmart for pretty cheap. You might have some already at home. The filling for our socks is going to be long grain rice. Really any rice is fine. I will say I used brown rice in this guy and I can see it. So instead of brown rice, make sure you're using white rice. That's my suggestion there. Scissors, some skinny rubber bands, skinnier the better, some white string, 2 pieces of felt. We have some black felt. Again, you can get this at a crafting store. They do sell that at Walmart. And we just need a very tiny piece of orange. That's going to be his carrot nose. I'm also including a free little printable so you can make a little tracers for your project. So all you're going to do at home is if you want to print this out, you can cut these out and use it to trace onto your felt. Cut them out with your scissors, or if you're magic and you believe really hard, maybe you can just go. Wow! All of my pieces are already cut. That's very cool. If that doesn't work for you, just try the old trace and cut method, but give it a whirl. The printout does not have his eyebrows, so just make sure it's really hard to tell from over here, but there's just the tiniest little sliver for his eyebrows. And we're going to move on to filling our sock. If you have a parent or a guardian, or you have some sisters or brothers, and you all want to work on them together, 2 sets of hands is going to work the best. If you don't, I suggest making a little spout. So you see how there's a little tip at it? Just cut it like that and down like that. And then we're just going to hold open our sock the best we can. Open up our spout on the bag of rice. And pour it in. Give that a test, see how much we got in there, because it'll kind of start forming down. I want a little more than that for the bottom one. We're going to make 3 sections. Almost. Just a little more. Alright, that should do it. So once you have your first section, we're going to try and pinch it off. Not twist it, just pinch it off. And you're going to take one of those rubber bands and wrap it around a few times. And we have a trick to make it so you won't see the rubber band by the time you're done. But we're going to cut off these sections with rubber bands. Or if you have some clear hair ties, those would work well too. Alright. Section 1 is complete. Make sure you're starting with each section going up the middle. Alright, I think section 2 is already good. Section 2 should be a little smaller than section 1. Just like last time, make sure that it's sitting up so the last part is coming straight up the middle. And we're going to fill up his head. Now this part, you really have to, a second set of hands would be the best time to do it now. Or just make sure you're stretching it out as best you can. And then you just kind of have to push it down. Once you start pushing it down, it kind of keeps its shape. I think that's going to do it for us. And we are going to do our final rubber band. So as you can see, you kind of actually almost want a little more at the top one for Olaf. So you're probably wondering, well, that doesn't look like a snowman. You're right. So here's how we're going to hide the rubber bands. What we're going to do is we're going to take our hot glue gun. We're going to start on the bottom one. And we're just going to do hot glue around the rubber band. good amount. And then press it down nice and firm on the middle. Where Olaf's head is kind of almost oval up, so you kind of push, you can just kind of squeeze it to form it how you like them. And then we're going to do this second tier, but I'm going to need a little extra hot glue. Make sure you always got extra sticks on you. Make sure you're extra careful with your glue. We use the low temp one so we don't risk blistering ourselves here. And that's a good rule of thumb at home too. All right. Push that down. You can already see, you don't really want to hold them by the top anymore, but see how it's holding it together. And also, you can't see those rubber bands anymore. Except for this top one. And I got a cool little hack for that too. This is where the red string comes into play. It would be too hard to tie the white string by yourself while you're trying to hold in the reds. So since we put this rubber band down, what we're going to do, we're going to try and take our string and tie it underneath the rubber band, but make sure not to put the string on the rubber band. Because once we tie this, we can take the rubber band off and make our second loop. So we got a knot, like so. And then we'll just take this rubber band off. And then with your loose string, make sure it's tight. We're going to do just one more. And then snip off the ends. Ta-da! No loose string, no rubber bands. Just a nice little floof on top. And from here, I actually kind of like how it's situated right here. So I'm going to make this my front. I'm going to put them down right here. So you can see me gluing right here. We've got 3 belly and chest charcoals. We got a mouth. We got our 2 eyebrows. We have our carrot nose. We have this funny looking piece, which is going to be his hair up here. And we got his 2 arms. We're going to start with the little traditional charcoal belly buttons. Just a little dab. One right at the bottom. Another. This is also going on the bottom tier. Another little dab right above the first one. And the last one. One little dab in the middle, like so. And we're going to put that one on the second tier on his chest. So now it should look like this. Next, we're going to do his little arms. And whenever you're cutting these out, it's really hard to cut these small fingers with felt. But what's cool is that his hands are supposed to be kind of made out of sticks anyway. So if it looks a little jagged, that's all right. So I'm going to glue it in 2 steps. I'm going to do first the arm, so just the long part of the arm. Putting it right down the middle. And then we're going to put it on his side, like so. Kind of press down. And then you can either leave his hands sticking out, or you could put his hands to his chest. That. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure your thumbs are up on both of your arms. That's the easiest way to tell that you're putting it on the right side. So just, it's long enough so you can put it right in the middle like that. Wrap it around. Another little dab on his hands. Close that to his chest. And this is where we should be sitting so far. So he's got his arms. He's got his belly button charcoal buttons. Now we're moving on to the head. So again, we're going to try and square it off. And we're going to start with the mouth. Put a good bit on it. And if a little piece hangs off, like mine is doing, I'm just going to put some more glue, press it down, and then we're doing his nose. Put that right smack in the middle, like so. You will need a couple of googly eyes. So just like the coal, we're going to put just a little bit in the middle. Put that about so. One of the hardest parts is going to be the eyebrows because it's so skinny. They're just little tiny strips. And again, I didn't put that on the stencil because it's just so hard to trace something that small out. So while you're cutting your other pieces, just make sure you cut a couple extra tiny thin strips to be his eyebrows. And the last piece of felt is hair. So we're just going to mostly put it at the base. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little floofy part, stick it right here. Ta-da! We have Olaf. All we're missing is his feet. And all we're doing for that is we have two little cotton balls. We're just going to glue them at the bottom. And that's it. Our version of Olaf the Snowman. Hope you all enjoyed that. Have a good day, friends.